Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So in this one, we're going to start building the program. And as I said, we're going to go and do this step by step. So the first thing you want to do is you want to fork this code. The link is in the resource section. So just check it out for yourself, open it up, fork it, and you're going to have basically a list of things to actually do. It's like a instruction based kind of practice. So because we want to do this step by step. So the first thing we want to do is, as you see, we have a few tasks here, okay? And also we have a word list. I just included this for you guys so you can just like get started with this as quick as possible. All right, so let's go over these tasks real quick. So the first thing is that we have a task here: choose a word randomly from the word list, right? And assign it to a variable named chosen word. Now this shouldn't be that complicated, right? We use the random method, the random function, and we can actually find a list of words inside, like, choose one of them randomly. It shouldn't be that complicated. Also, you can use the choice function as well if you'd like. All right, so the second one is pretty simple as well. You're going to ask user to guess a letter and assign their answer to a variable called guess, make it lowercase. Again, very simple, right? It's a basic input with a lower function. And the third one is going to be check and see if the letter the user guessed matches one of the letters in the chosen word. And again, for this, if you remember, since we're working with a list, you're gonna go with the for loop. All right. So take a look at it and take some time, pause the video right now, and see if you can actually do these tasks by yourself. All right, so hopefully you were able to do some of this stuff. And as I said, it's really not that complicated. You just have to think about it a little bit and, try to remember whatever we've talked about so far. So with that being said, I'm just going to start writing this and you can actually check it against your own work. So the first thing we want to do is choose a word randomly from the word list and assign it to a variable named chosen word. So what we're going to do is we're going to import the random function, right? So I'm going to say import and I'm going to say random. And the reason I'm going to put it up is that the best practice, honestly, when you importing stuff, whether if it's a function, it's a method, you want to definitely do it at the top. That's just like one of the things you want to remember. And that's why I did it right there. But anyways, so we did that, and let's actually choose a random word. So I'm just going to define this variable called a chosen word, and we're going to say random and random choice. If you remember, we're using the choice function, right? So word list. So essentially what is happening here is that we're defining this function, defining this variable, and using the random choice function to find a random choice in this list. That would be a random word. All right, so that's pretty much it. I mean, if we print this right now, we will get a random random word within this list. Again, I don't need to do that right now, but I hope that makes sense. So let's go to the task number 2. This one is pretty simple as well. We want to define a variable called guess and ask for the user input, right? So I'm going to say guess equals input, and we're going to say guess a letter, and we're going to make this a lowercase. Very simple. So that way, again, this is just going to be a letter, for example, like ABC, and they're just going to be entering that, and that's going to be defined into this variable. All right. So number 3 is like so far at least the most complicated one, and that is the check and see if the letter user guessed, which is this one, matches the one of the letters in the chosen word. So if you remember, again, for loop was the one that we were going to use for this one, because again, that's how you work with the list. The best way to actually work with the list is for loops. So we're going to say for letter in chosen word. And again, this is basically going to find the letter inside the chosen word, by the computer. So like the random letter, that random word that we chose, right? So that's going to be that. And we're going to say if letter equals guess. So I'll explain this in a second. We're going to say print, and we're going to say correct. And else we're going to say print incorrect. All right, so let's see what happened here. So if we take a look, we use the for loop to go through the chosen word, basically again the word that was chosen here randomly, right? So we're using for loop to go through the chosen word, and this letter, basically this is what we define in the for loop. If it equals the guess, that means if it equals what user entered here, you're going to print correct. If not, you're going to print incorrect. Now, what is going to happen if you run this program is that it is essentially going to go through every single letter. So you're going to see a lot of corrects and incorrects potentially. All right. So let me actually save this and show it to you. So we're going to guess a letter, and I'm going to say A, for example, and take a look at what happens. So we got incorrect, incorrect, correct, incorrect. So let's see which one was this a letter potentially. It was bear. So I see we got incorrect, incorrect, correct, incorrect. So just like that, you know, again, we started at least the beginning parts of this program. So let me know how you did it with this. Like, let me know if you have any questions. There's a lot more to do. Obviously, we're not nowhere near done yet, but I just want to go about this step by step. So if you weren't able to do this or you were stuck, make sure, like, after watching this video, go back and try to do it by yourself, to just kind of reiterate it for yourself and like kind of try to like really code it by yourself. And again, that's how you really become a better programmer, by just using these skills. So it's really, really important to do that. Let me know if you have any questions. If not, I'll see you in the next video.